New Euphonium. Episode 1 of Sound. Euphonium Season 3 starts with several shots of different people participating in several activities at Kitaji High School. After that, we see Michi discussing with someone about the new first years. Then, we cut to Kumiko chatting with her parents before heading to school. Kumiko's father wonders when she'll quit her music club. Her mother tells him she plans to leave after this year's competition. While departing to school, Kumiko meets with Hazuki, Sapphire, Midori, and Kusaka. At school, Kumiko informs the audience that the band will have 3 executives this year. The higher-ups want the executives to exchange notes. During the narration, Kumiko and Kusaka part ways with Hazuki and Midori. As Kusaka and Kumiko head somewhere, Kumiko says this year's president and vice president must stay updated on interpersonal relationships. Also, she notes that the drum major should focus on giving proper instructions. We cut away to Shuichi reading Kumiko's notes and circling the 100-member goalpost. Kusaka scolds Shuichi briefly before the two head to the third-year meeting room. Kumiko's inside the room and setting things up. She reflects on her new position as the school's club president. She says she hasn't gotten used to the role. We then cut away to Kumiko informing the third years about this year's club tryouts. She tells the third years to invite anyone who might be interested in participating. Later, Kumiko heads to Taki's office to give him his key back. Taki's surprised her meeting took so long. Regardless, he tells Kumiko to place the key on his desk. Before Kumiko departs, Michi scolds her for missing the warning bell and tells her to get to class. Kumiko heads to class and reunites with Midori and Hazuki. The three chat briefly and Hazuki informs Kumiko that Tsubame and Kanade are in the same class. Suddenly, Michi enters the room and tells everyone to take a seat. She introduces herself as the class's homeroom teacher and gives them a spiel about her goals, rules, and other things regarding this class. Later, we see Kumiko, Midori, and Hazuki gathering their gear in the equipment room. Then, Satsuki arrives followed by Mirai seconds later. Satsuki rushes into Mirai's arms because she's upset the two aren't in the same classes. Then, Motomu enters the room and informs Midori that he's in the same class as Mirai. After Satsuki and Motomu chat with each other, Hazuki interrupts their conversation. She tells the two that she and Ririka are instructing the first years this year. Although Hazuki's excited about the idea, she's concerned about what will happen if she must guide a talented and stubborn person. Kumiko brings up Kanade's name and Kanade enters the room. Worried that Kanade heard Kumiko say something ill about her, Kumiko departs. Later, Kumiko, Kanade, and others attend a section emergency meeting. During this meeting, they discuss ways to attract the first years to the club. During this conversation, Motomu shares a few words with Midori. While those two chat, Kanade and Kumiko gossip about Midori and Motomu. Kanade wonders if the two plan to date each other. Nonetheless, Kumiko hopes they can acquire 2 more euphonium and bass players. Later, Kumiko reunites with Shuichi and Kusaka. Shuichi shows Kumiko a poster he made to welcome new band members. Before he heads home, he promises to hang up all the posters. While heading to Taki's office, Kusaka asks Kumiko a few questions regarding her current connection with Shuichi. Then, the two arrive at Taki's office. Taki informs them that he knows about the recruiting posters and hopes it'll help entice people to join the club. Kusaka tells Taki that she's certain they'll acquire more band members. Later, Kusaka and Kumiko walk across a pathway. Kumiko overhears someone playing a euphonium and wonders if it's Asuka. Nevertheless, Kusaka tells Kumiko that the player sounds good, but Kumiko's better. While Kumiko is eavesdropping on some students, Tsubame meets with her. She tells Kumiko that a few students wanted to see the bass section perform. Tsubame takes Kumiko to the bass section's classroom. There, she meets Tsubame's sister and 3 other girls. The girls take a seat and Mireille recognizes one of the girls named Sari. Sari attended the same middle school Mireille attended and Mireille says she is a skilled musician. Sari tells Midori and the others that Tsubame's sister and the other two are mere beginners. One of them explained that they all wanted to join the bass section. They felt it'd be the easiest one to join because of this section's lackluster popularity. Then, we learn the other girls' names. They're named Suzume Kamaya, Tsubame's sister, Keiho, and Yayoi. After they share their musical background or lack thereof with Kumiko and the others, Midori puts on Asuka's glasses she gave her in the past. Midori promises to teach them the basics of concert band. Kumiko regroups with Kusaka and the two discuss their recruiting activities. Kusaka tells Kumiko she wants to get gold at nationals this year before she graduates. Kumiko understands Kusaka's desires and says she wants to achieve that dream too. Then, we receive a few snippets of the high school. During these scenarios, Kumiko informs the audience that several people are interested in their club. We cut away to Kusaka playing her trumpet in front of the interested parties. Then, Kanade heads in front of everyone, asking them questions about her instrument. Unfortunately, Kanade only grabs Kamaya, Keiho, and Yayoi's attention. After that, Kumiko heads in front of the classroom and plans to inform everyone about the club's policies and goals. Taki arrives and notices he's interrupted Kumiko's spiel. He swiftly introduces himself and lets Kumiko proceed with her discussion. Kumiko asks everyone to raise their hand if they want their club's goal to win gold at nationals. Many folks raise their hand, leaving Kumiko amazed. Before Kumiko continues, Taki intervenes and hopes everyone will give it their best shot. Later, Kumiko, Kusaka, and Shuichi visit the club room. Kumiko wants them to discuss their team's composition so they can win the gold at nationals. Kusaka reminds Kumiko that they need more euphonium players. Suddenly, Kumiko, Shuichi, and Kusaka overhear a euphonium instrument in the distance. Kumiko follows the noise and notices a girl on the balcony. The girl recognizes Kumiko and it's alluded to that she might be a fan of hers. The episode closes with the girl introducing herself as Mayukuro. The episode review. The spring of 2023 anime season feels like the season of sequels. From laid-back camp to Konosuba, longtime anime fans can't help but wonder how their favorite narratives will continue during this time of year. Another anime making a comeback is Sound. Euphonium. This is a show of music, friendship, and drama. Unfortunately, this one may not catch the public's eye, especially those who didn't tune into the movie or OVA special. Nonetheless, this episode was fun to watch. It reintroduced long-term characters and those who made their grand debut from the film and OVA special. Not only that, but the episode introduces viewers to new first-years who may or may not receive depth this season. Hopefully, this season will shed more light on characters introduced through the films and OVA, as the former rushed through some elements involving some of its cast. Moreover, this episode set up our entire cast's main goal of winning gold at nationals. We're optimistic Kumiko and her team will win the nationals this year. This will allow them to avoid any future or latent regrets they had. Lastly, this chapter's visuals looked remarkable and its animation was fluid. Considering how highly acclaimed Kyoto Animation is as a studio, we'd expect nothing but the best. Fortunately, this episode shows that the studio can still cook up a wonderful showcase despite the unfortunate realistic problems they dealt with in the past. By and large, this was a simple yet pleasant way to reintroduce audiences to the Sound Euphonium universe.